Well, hello, mamas. Hello, hello. It's Jessica Coulter here. It's time to study with Jessie as we talk about excuse number 2 that our teens say. Today's excuse, it's so boring. Like, that's so boring. All right, that magical word, boring. So let me know, what does your teen find boring? Is it a certain class, certain teacher, certain subject, certain type of assignment? What is it? Because I got to tell you, as a tutor for middle schoolers, high schoolers, even college kiddos, and we're talking college kiddos like 18-year-olds as well as adults going back for masters or more, I have heard it so many times. And we're going to talk about why that happens, what to do about it. Okay? And if you're not a member of my Facebook group, Teaching Teens to Love Learning, would love to have you join us after the videos because I'll be giving even more details to all of my group members. So, your teen says something's boring. Why? Well, number one thing I want to leave you all with is this. Your teen gets to choose what's boring. Okay? You've got two choices. Every single time you choose to do something, and your teen has those exact same choices every time he's at school and is choosing to learn or to not learn. And, same thing applies when your teen's at home, sitting down to work on an English paper, study for that test, whatever it is. The two choices. Number one, you choose to not like it. You choose to think it's boring. You choose to not have any interest. The second choice, I imagine you can probably guess, is the exact opposite. I get to do this. It's going to be fun. I'm going to like it. I'm going to learn a lot. Okay. Two very different thoughts there, two very different choices, and yet it's a conscious decision. Okay. So that is one of the most important things I can leave you with today, mamas, is knowing that when your teen says something's boring, the question becomes, why does he think that? And the second question is, how do you help your teen, and how does your teen decide to find something interesting, to find something that isn't boring about that whatever? And like I said, this can be school related, this can be home chores related, this can be anything in life related. Okay? So before we go any further, I want to say thank you for being here. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching on Facebook. Make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe to the Ace Cookie Tutoring page and channel so you can catch more live videos all about teens, all about school, all about studying. So what else do you need to know when it comes to this particular excuse? Well, we've talked about why it happens. It's a thought, it's a choice. But how do we find something interesting in things that might seem boring? Well, actually tonight, if you're part of my Facebook group, you already know this. I'm hosting an event called Before the Ball Drops. It's a free time management event, and we are focused on time management this week. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about is making things on our to-do lists, in our planners, things we want to get done that we're procrastinating doing, interesting. And the secret I have for you, and the secret I have for your teen is, what is your interest? What is your teen's interest? Because when it comes to school, your teen's going to have a lot of freedom. And it's up to him whether he realizes that or not. Okay, when I have teens come to me and they have to put an English project together, and literally the project is sometimes, like at the beginning of the semester, it's things as simple as put like a 10 slide presentation together about your 10 favorite things, 10 objects in your room that are important to you. Like that's one of the ones I did with a student, and we were doing it online. He didn't want to be on camera, so that made it a lot harder because I couldn't see what was in his room. So just literally pushing and finding those 10 things. I left it up to him. It's like, you can go really personal, you can go not personal. And so he was a basketball player. So I asked him, is there a basketball in your room? He said yes. And I was like, well, that to me seems like one of the 10 things you should put in your slide when you're describing things that are important to you in your room. Okay. So the same thing is true for your teens. When they're doing something that they think is boring, when it's related to school, what can they do to make it interesting? So like I said, for that student, it was all about basketball. So once I knew he had a basketball in his room, it's like, okay, well, what about a poster of your favorite player? Or is there some kind of like jersey or something from, a previous team or a current team? We can make it all about basketball if we wanted. Okay, for your team, maybe your daughter loves to read. So again, something for English, something for science, something for math. I mean, there are opportunities to tie your child's hobbies, interests, favorites, things that he or she loves into everything. Okay. And the same thing goes for you, mamas. How can you make something interesting, even if it doesn't seem like it's interesting in the beginning? So that is my challenge for you today. That's my big study tip for you mamas that are watching and here studying with Jessie is I want your teens to find something interesting in everything they do. The next time you hear your child say, that's boring, or I don't want to do it because it's boring, ask them, well, what would make it not boring? How can you make it interesting? Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to join me in my group, Teaching Teens to Love Learning. It's here on Facebook. All you have to do to join us, click the link, answer a couple questions, you'll be in. When you join us, you will learn how to help your teen love to learn by learning how to learn. So thanks so much. We'll see you soon in the group, and I'll be here tomorrow for another excuse our teens say. Bye, mamas.